Welcome back, everyone. It is Monday, January 13th, and the NBA. My three best bets are on the way. As always, my name's Austin from Calling Our Shot. Yeah, the video is a little bit delayed today. I'll talk about that in a second. But as always, we begin with a recap of how we did on Sunday. Our losing streak continued, and it was a little frustrating. We had Paolo Banchero's over in rebounds plus assists, an easy winner. Mikal Bridges didn't shoot at all. Whatever. Jalen Brunson had 44. Cat had 30. They won by 30, so not a big surprise there. LaMelo Ball is kind of the one that hurt and didn't swing our way. He had 31. He shot 9 of 25, 36%. Well, then more than enough volume. I mean, if I told you shot 25 times, probably all taking that bet over again. But again, we're falling in that weird variance, territory where picks that we're hitting for us in December, we're getting the terrible shooting performances from a lot of different guys. It is what it is. I know it's been a little bit of a cold streak, but hopefully that ended on Sunday. We have the beginning of a new week. It's Monday. Hopefully we can dominate this week. And it starts with a 3-0 Monday. But as always, before I dive into the picks, I do want to note our Monday Night Football video is already live. Vikings versus Rams that posted last night. Hopefully you've checked it out by now. If not, we are 5-0 so far in the NFL this weekend on Saturday and Sunday. Going into Monday and wildcard weekend, trying to end the week 6-0. It's been a great week. We brought out the brooms yesterday, 3-0 day. We've been dialed in. Hopefully our pick there can hit. We only have one pick tonight. Go check it out. Also, because of all the fires in California, we're donating every single dollar we make on that video. So I encourage you to go check it out. Again, I'll link that down below, top link in description in the pinned comment. Again, donating every single dollar. So go in that video, watch the ads, and then we'll donate that money probably on the divisional round playoff video for Saturday. We'll talk about that on Friday. But either way, go check it out. Link down below. Let's dive into the picks. Now, yesterday, obviously, we talked about this in yesterday's video. It was Logan's wedding. If you missed out on my picture, I posted on Twitter or X. Logan obviously got married. We love to see it. It was a wonderful day. I'll have Logan talk about that more in our divisional round video. But this is Logan's wife. You can see her on the screen. You see me and my wife. We call my wife Mrs. Calling Our Shot. Logan's new wife, Dr. Calling Our Shot, as she is a doctor in pediatrics and infectious diseases. She's the GOAT. We love her. It's Krista. I'll have Logan talk. Oh, what did just happen? I don't know what just happened, but either way, we love Krista. I'll have Logan talk about his wedding a little, probably next week or whatever, later on this week. It was a great day, though, celebrating him. I was his best man. A wonderful day. But you guys came in for some NBA picks, not some yip-yapping and whatnot. We need some 3 winners, and we need to bounce back. And the first pick we'll begin with is actually a guy that we need to talk about something, because here's our first pick of the day. It is Ja Morant over 22.5 points, minus 105 on Bet365, a 1-unit play. Now, I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about it because right as I was about to click record, as I sent this play out to our All-Stars around noon, this happened. Ja Morant, now questionable with an illness. So again, I don't know what to do here. He's probably not listed on your book. If he is, cool. I still really like the matchup. I'll talk about him at the end of the video, but I'm not going to waste your time talking about a guy that might not play. So Ja Morant, we'll talk about him at the end of the video. Instead, we'll go to our second pick, which is a guy on the same game, and that is going to be Dillon Brooks. I really like his over 13.5 points, minus 113 on FanDuel. I don't care if Ja Morant plays or not for Dillon Brooks. I think it's a great spot. Now, you might be like, wasn't he guarding Dillon Brooks? He actually wasn't really defending Dillon Brooks. They put him on Jaren Jackson Jr. because Jabari Smith Jr. is out. So they put Dillon Brooks there, and they kind of had him mixing around with Desmond Bane, having different guys guard Ja Morant. And we'll talk about Morant, why I like his over. Hopefully he plays. We'll talk about him at the end of the video, though, because I don't want to waste your time. Now, Dillon Brooks should be suiting up tonight, and I love the matchup tonight. Over 13.5 points for Mr. Dillon Brooks. Now, if you look at how Dillon Brooks scores, it is a great spot for him to score against the Memphis Grizzlies. And with Ja Morant or without him, doesn't matter, honestly, in my opinion, because we've seen, Dillon Brooks, he's playing all right this year, averaging right at this line, 13.4. The main reason I like this, look at the way he scores. Spot up shooting, 40% of his points. Grizzlies ranked 20th there. 20% in transition, where they're ranked 25th, and 10% on free throws, where they're ranked 28th. So his top 3 scoring methods, where he scores 70% of his points, they're a bottom 10 defensive team. And we see that kind of looking at how they give up their 3-pointers, 26th on above the break threes, where he shoots 40% of his shots. Now, these two teams just played a few days ago, and you could see, Dillon Brooks under in a couple straight games. In that game, only 5 points, played 35 minutes, 2 for 15 shooting, 1 for 8 from the 3-point line. If you were to look, this was going to be Ja Morant's shot chart, but if you were to go here and you just type in Dillon Brooks NBA, and we'll go and look at his shot chart, he absolutely could not buy a bucket. I mean, all of these shots, we're looking at his shot chart, him just bricking left and right, left and right. I mean, look at the shot chart, a lot of red in there. He could not make any shot. In fact, I want to say, he made 2 of his first 5 shots. missed his next 10. So he could not buy a bucket there. But again, you love to see the volume. And given the matchup, I expect him to play pretty well here. And if you look at this is his 3-point prop, his 3-point prop, 2.5, sure, plus money on the over, plus 140. I honestly don't hate that. But again, you look at his alternate lines, the books minus 250, minus 210. They are really confident that he makes 2 or more 3-pointers. Now, obviously, he didn't make that there, but 8 3-point attempts. And if you were to isolate Dillon Brooks, when he makes 2 or more threes, you sort it just by games he's made 2 or more threes. We're looking at a guy averaging 17 points per game over in nearly every single game. Only 4 games he went under. So I think this is a great spot to back him. I really think he's going to be amped up for this matchup. Even if Morant sits, I don't hate that because you'll put in probably a better defender than Morant out there. And their defensive scheme for the Grizzlies is you try to drive on us, we're going to pack the paint, force you to kick it out to the shooters. They're one of the top teams in catch and shoot threes allowed. And now that we don't have Jabari Smith Jr. out there, Ben Thompson doesn't really shoot threes. So again, the guy out there kind of stretching the floor is Dillon Brooks. He just could not buy a bucket in their most recent game. I think he knocks down some shots here. He's at home. He always wants to turn it up an extra notch against the Memphis Grizzlies. Granted, normally you'd expect him to turn it up an extra notch on the road in Memphis. He tried, shot 15 times. Just could not buy a bucket. I think he makes some shots nice. I really like his over 13.5 points. My second pick of the day, if you will. I also like Alperen Sengun and Jalen Green. Just both had massive games against the Grizzlies. Maybe we change their defense a little bit to slow those guys down, and it opens up even more opportunities for Dillon Brooks. Already had 15 shots. We know the Grizzlies #1 in pace in the NBA. Now my second play. It's going to be a guy by the name of Cade Cunningham. I like his over 24.5 points, minus 115 on DraftKings. I love this play for Cade. I think it's a smash spot for him against the New York Knicks. Now, if you're looking at spread picks, I kind of lean the Pistons here. Pistons only 7.5 point, 8-point dogs. It feels easy to back the Knicks. Put them in all your money line parlays, given they just came off a game yesterday, scored 140, destroyed the Bucks. I don't know. The Pistons could keep this one close. And I think they keep it close. It's probably this guy that's doing a lot of damage, Mr. Cade Cunningham. Now, Cade Cunningham has played the Knicks twice this season, and in those 2 games, he's scored 22 and 29 points. Now, the 22 came in a game, they lost by 30 points. The 29 came in a game, well, he played pretty well, hit 5 threes, shot 17 times. They won that game, and in that game, he also had 15 assists. Now, Cade Cunningham, obviously, on the season, you look at the graph, you'd be like, that's a lot of red, Austin. Why are we backing this guy? Well, here's why. The Knicks, 30th in defensive rating against pick and roll ball handlers, where obviously Cade Cunningham scores 40% of his points. His #1 scoring method is as the #1 guy, getting the pick and roll, cats and drop coverage, and you're seeing him get a lot of volume and get into that mid-range spot, which is where he does a lot of his damage. We've seen opposing guards have pretty big games against the Knicks. We're looking at a lot of these guys going over their lines against the New York Knicks. Dame Lillard didn't get done yesterday. He didn't really play a ton because they lost by 34 points or whatever it was. But again, a lot of these guys going over their lines. We're going to get like Shea, 39 points against them. He didn't play a ton in the fourth because they smoked the Knicks. I think this game's tight. I think Cade's going to have to play pretty well. And obviously one of the big news and injuries is Jaden Ivey. He's been out. Well, we've seen in the 9 games without Jaden Ivey, he's played pretty dang well. I was actually meaning to check what the odds were of Cade to score 30 points because I see some value in Cade to get to 30. I meant to check what the odds were. She's 24.5 on every single book, but 30 points, we're looking at, plus 210. It's probably not, I probably wouldn't play that. But again, I think there's value there. There's a chance. I mean, we've seen never game without Jaden Ivey that's gone over 30 plus points. I kind of look at a similar matchup like the Minnesota Timberwolves. Game he shot 29 times, scored 40 points. Again, the Timberwolves, similar defense to the Knicks. They trust their #1 guys to play you defensively, stay home on shooters, force those guys, the #1 guy to beat you. And we've seen him play pretty well in these matchups. The games he didn't, the Heat, a team that liked to double. The Hornets, I believe he got in foul trouble here. The Nets, a really big team at doubling him. And then the Raptors, who doubled him as well. So I think there's value and there's opportunity for him. See 21 shots here, 23, 29, 23, and we're looking at 34 shots here. I think there's expectation here that he could shoot 20 to 25 times tonight. And we've seen, when he shoots that many times, you're looking at a guy that probably goes over this line more often than not. I mean, if he shoots 20 times, looking at a guy over this line in 11 to 17 games. So again, I really like the value here for Cade Cunningham. I think it's a great matchup here, given the Knicks 30th defensively versus the pick and roll ball handler. Great spot for Cade. I think they keep it close. If they keep it close, it's probably that guy, given that the guys surrounding him are all spot up shooters. Not a great spot for that matchup. Now, my final pick, as we talked about at the beginning of the video, Ja Morant. Why do I like his over in points tonight? Now, obviously, if he doesn't play, it is what it is. We're going to move on with our lives and just go with the other two picks, Brooks and Cade Cunningham. But let's hope Ja Morant suits up because I love the matchup for him tonight against the Houston Rockets. As we just talked about with Dillon Brooks, if you're looking at the Houston Rockets, what do they do defensively? They want to slow down your spot up shooters, and in turn, we'll give up as many opportunities to other guys as we can. I mean, we see, and I see other books now have lines for him, still sitting at 22 and a half. Every book's there. We'll see if he plays. Who knows? Maybe they adjusted these other guys' lines just in case he doesn't. But obviously, Ja Morant, best hit rate, no. We know he wrecked us here, 5 of 19 shooting. But again, the game against the Rockets, the game before that, 22 shots here in 29 minutes, 11 free throw attempts. He didn't even shoot well. I mean, you look at his shot chart. There is a lot of misses right here, right in the paint. Missed a couple, deep threes, whatever. We're not going to count those. But again, they were playing him one-on-one. I mean, this is basically, I'll show you one play from the game. This is basically how they defended him. They were like, you know what? You can set a screen. We're just going to kind of let him get into the paint, and you can do whatever you want there. And obviously, it yielded to him shooting just 41%. So I don't see us changing the game plan, given that the Memphis Grizzlies won that game. Well, the Memphis Grizzlies lost. The Houston Rockets won. So again, I expect them to play a similar defense. And we've seen, when Ja Morant gets the field goal attempts, we're talking, 15 shots over 9 of 13 games, the games he missed. The Nets, pretty good defensive team versus guards, 7 of 17 shooting here. Again, against the Lakers, 6 of 21. And the last game, 5 of 19. So again, I think it's a great spot. We've seen, how he scores at number one guy, pick and roll ball handler. That's where he scores his points when he's in isolation. I think it's another great spot for him. I love the spot. Hopefully he can go over. If he doesn't, whatever, we'll move on. If he doesn't play, we'll move on and just go with our 2 picks. But again, I really think it's a great spot for Ja Morant. So those are my 3 picks. Morant over in points, Dillon Brooks over in points, and Cade Cunningham over in points. So hopefully go 3-0 and have a pretty good day. As I said at the top of the show, we have our Minnesota Vikings versus Rams video that is already live on the channel. I encourage you to check it out. As I said, every single dollar we make in that video, we're donating back to California for the wildfires. Hopefully, I haven't checked the comments there yet. Hopefully, we have some recommendations for some charities and organizations we can donate back to. So again, giving back, watching the video, just by watching it, we're donating some of that money that you guys watch. So I'll let you know what that number is later on, and probably Friday. And either way, appreciate you guys for tuning in. Apologies for a later video than normal, and apologies that one of our picks might not even play. I mean, heck, I normally don't even wait this late. That is the NBA this day and age. But either way, those are my 3 picks. Let's have a good day. I'll see you guys back again tomorrow. Hopefully, recapping a winning day. We are certainly overdue for one. Hopefully, these guys make some shots for us. That's all I can ask for. Go check out that Vikings Rams video. It's linked right here. Have a great Monday. Great start to your week. See you guys back again tomorrow with some more picks. Peace.